Galveston hurricane. "1900 was a prosperous time for Galveston. Its position on the Gulf of Mexico made it the center of trade and the wealthiest city in Texas. It was dubbed the Wall Street of the Southwest. This barrier island is 30 miles long and 3 miles wide. Its highest elevation was less than 9 feet above sea level. Yet many of the residents believed that storm surge would not be a problem because of the shallow Gulf waters. Then came early September 1900.
Initially, as the storm moved across Cuba and into this extreme southeastern Gulf of Mexico, all the indications were that the storm was going to move north, which would take it into Florida and ultimately up the East Coast.
But it continued moving westward and turned into a Category 4 hurricane, packing winds over 130 miles per hour. With only ship reports and elementary meteorological equipment, the city of Galveston remained largely unaware of this monster bearing down on them.
I don't think we can comprehend the degree of normalcy that prevailed right up to probably almost noontime of the day the storm hit.
Late that afternoon, the island was engulfed by 15 feet of water. 3,500 homes were destroyed.
The waters of the bay had met the waters of the Gulf, and Galveston was no longer an island. It was simply a part of the ocean floor. And this wall of debris was filled with pieces of houses, furniture, pianos, pots, pans, cats, dogs, and people.
It was just this mega, horrible debris field that smelled for months after the storm as more and more bodies were found. It was just hellacious.
There were 37,000 people living in Galveston at the time. Up to 12,000, or almost a third of its population, was killed, making it the deadliest natural disaster in our history.
The 1900 Galveston hurricane was really the hurricane of record for this country. If you put a large population in an area that's prone for storm surge flooding, it's a recipe for disaster.
Amazingly, they got determined to stay there and rebuild the city. So they did two incredible things. The first thing they did was built this big seawall to protect themselves from most hurricanes that come along. The second thing is that they raised the city behind the seawall. They took the buildings that survived, they jacked them up, they put dirt under that, and they created an entirely new city that is much more hurricane resistant.